All right. This is my work bag. And this is not the Corsair K65 Mini. This is the Keychron K2 wireless mechanical keyboard. And it has replaced the Corsair K65 Mini as my work keyboard of choice. Let's talk about why. Alright guys, welcome back to Gadget Conquest. I just got back from the beach, so I probably look a mess. But that's okay, because I am not here to talk about any of those things. I'm here to talk about this keyboard. So this is, once again, the Keychron K2. It is a wireless mechanical keyboard, and it supports, I believe, three Bluetooth profiles, 1, 2, and 3, and it has a USB-C connection along with a switch to go from the wired mode to the Bluetooth modes, and also a switch to go from Mac OS to Windows. The keyboard itself did come with a keycap puller along with some extra keys. It was pre-configured with the Mac keys, and it came with Windows alternatives, although the super key is not a Windows key. It's this weird, I don't know what key this is, but it's definitely not a Windows key. But that's fine, because I don't actually use Windows at work. I use Linux, so it doesn't matter what that key is to me, as long as I have it. And as you guys know, I had recently switched from the to the Corsair K65 Mini because I really liked the slim profile of a 60% keyboard, and the K65 Mini had those pretty nice clear switches, so it was like nice and quiet and just overall really compact, and the RGB was also amazing. This one is not as compact. It has one extra column and one extra row. However, it is still a very compact keyboard. It is basically I think it's 86 keys, but in the form factor of a 60% keyboard, just being, you know, a little bit taller and a little bit wider. But this does give it a lot of extra space for things like a separate function row, which is pretty cool, and dedicated arrow keys right here in the corner. Now, the shift key is shortened on the right side. However, I don't care that much. The only time I personally use the right shift is probably when I'm doing a question mark, and that's about it. I normally use the left shift for everything. I think question mark is the only thing I actually use the right shift for, so it's not that big of a deal. I could honestly go without the right shift and be perfectly fine with it. I get the page up, page down, home, end keys, a separate delete key, and some weird dedicated keys like a dedicated screenshot key, and also a dedicated lighting key to change up the lighting mode on the keyboard. So it is a white backlight. There is no customization of the colors. However, the changing the lighting mode does make it go from different breathing profiles and stuff like that. So it is pretty cool, and it does look pretty good. The overall design is really nice. I like the color profile of the grays with the orange escape, and the keyboard being a sort of 60%, I'm gonna call it a mini keyboard. Being a mini keyboard is just as durable as the K65 was, with no issues whatsoever. These switches themselves are, I believe, hello. The switches themselves, I think are Gateron switches. I could be mistaken, but they are the cherry brown equivalent switches, so they are tactile without having the click, and they are cherry compatible. I personally am going to be getting, and I recommend this to anybody who wants to use a keyboard like this at work. If you're going to be using a mechanical keyboard at work, you know, get some O-rings or gaskets. Get some gaskets at your local Home Depot or Lowe's or just hardware store, And yeah, put some gaskets on these so that the sound of the keys bottoming out doesn't irritate you and your coworkers. And it's brown switches, so you're not going to have a clicky feeling anyway. The reason I switched to this keyboard from the K65 was the fact that the K65 Mini was killing me with a couple different a couple different factors. First of all, the arrow keys, I had talked about how the arrow keys were kind of inconvenient because the arrow keys were on the UHJK instead of being like on WASD. That ended up being actually a far more inconvenient than I thought it was going to be because of the fact that there was only one function key and it was on the right side of the keyboard, meaning that both of my hands had to be on the right side of the keyboard to use the arrow keys, which are keys that I use very, very often. Another key that I use pretty often is the tilde, which, well, it was the escape key. So you actually had to do a control or a function shift escape to get to the tilde. That's a pretty big keyboard combination just for a tilde. So this having a separate function row means that the tilde and the tick are the same key, like they should be. And I have dedicated arrow keys, so I don't have to worry about the problem with the holding the function and doing some arrow nonsense like this. I did try, that keyboard does have the ability to record macros and even reassign keys, and it worked, but the problem was that it didn't have key repeat when you do macros. So I could press, I did assign it to WASD, I could press W to go up, but I couldn't hold W to keep going up. It didn't work that way. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. This is much better in that regard. The other thing is price. This thing with having having Bluetooth, having a wired, the cable was actually, the cable that it comes with, I maybe have in my bag. Let's find out. Here's the cable that it comes with. So it's a pretty decent cable. It's actually very similar to the K65's cable. The biggest difference being the ends here are not as, the K65, the ends were very nice looking, very premium, if you will. These are nice, but they're not as premium as the K65 was. However, this right angle USB-C is really nice to have because it goes on the side instead of the top. And it actually has this little, I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually kind of indented here because it goes into the side of the keyboard just like that, and it comes out very nicely, just like that. Super nice, super neat, and it is a nice corded cable, so that's still fine. This thing was $80. If it's more than $80, I'll have it here. But I think it was $80. So far, I haven't had any issues with it. You know, I am making this video because I had issues with the K65 Mini. Not really any technical issues, just layout issues, really, you know. And if I have issues in the future with this keyboard, I will definitely let you guys know. But so far, I've been using this keyboard for a week, and it's actually pretty great. I'm thinking about maybe replacing my home keyboard with one like this, because this is just awesome. I love having this super tiny keyboard, but still having all of the keys that actually matter to me and not having to go through any extra steps to get to them. This is just awesome. This will definitely be in my bag for the foreseeable future as I use it as my primary travel keyboard. But yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say. I really like this keyboard. Good job to Keychron for making this thing. They have other keyboards. I will link to their store page on Amazon, and obviously to this keyboard as well. And that's all I've got. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you guys have a good week. Have a good Memorial Day. If you celebrate Memorial Day, I don't know if you should celebrate Memorial Day. You should remember Be kind? I don't know. I don't know what you definitely don't celebrate a memorial. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Have a good day, have a good week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.